Bienvenidos a esta presentación del condicional. This presentation will show you how to conjugate in the conditional tense in Spanish as well as when to use it. Si yo ganara la lotería, yo compraría. If I won the lottery, I would buy. If I won is written using the imperfect subjunctive. What you would do if something else were to happen is represented with the conditional, compraría. The way you conjugate regular verbs in the conditional is very, very similar to the future conjugations. What you need to do is just memorize a different set of endings. You simply add the ending of the conditional to the end of the infinitive, just like the future tense. Pasar plus the ending ia is pasaría. The endings for the conditional are pasaría, pasarías, pasaría, pasaríamos, pasarían. Notice, all forms in the conditional have an accent mark on the I. I is a weak vowel, and in order for it not to be dominated by the A, and this pronounced pasaría, we need the I to have an accent mark so it is properly pronounced pasaría. As with the future, the same endings are used for the ER and IR verbs, and again they are just added to the end of the verbs. Comería, comerías, comería, comeríamos, comerían, and again the same endings for ER verbs. I'm sorry, for IR verbs, for an IR verb, such as pedir. A note, some students have trouble and confuse the imperfect with the conditional. The imperfect are these ia endings, but they are added to the stem of the verb. The imperfect of comer is comía, and the conditional is comería. There are irregulars, and again, if you've studied the future tense, these will be familiar to you because they are the same irregulars as in the future. You don't just add your conditional endings to the end of the infinitive with these, you add them to the new stem. The new stem for poder is PODR. The conjugations for poder are podría, podrías, podría, podríamos, podrían. Same endings with an accent mark on the I, just added to a new stem rather than the infinitive. The other irregulars are these following verbs. Practiquemos. Notice that all of these examples have would. That indicates that we would do this if something else were to happen. There are hypothetical situations, and this is what one would do. You would wash. Tú lavarías. They would receive. Ellos recibirían. We would see. Nosotros veríamos. If you use the verb mirar, miraríamos. Juan would have is one of our irregulars. So we don't add the ending to tener, we add the ending to T-E-N-D. Juan tendría. And the family would want is also an irregular. The ending is added to the new stem, which has a double R. This is pronounced querría, which is different from the imperfect rather, quería. So a lot of effort has to be made to try to pronounce this correctly. Again, it is querría. Gracias por ver esta presentación y te deseo mucho éxito.